Hey everyone, Scott Hansen here from NFL Red Zone, and you're watching the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. 1 hour of commercial-free podcasting starts now. Enjoy the show.
All right, welcome back. Super Fantasy Bros podcast, brought to you in conjunction with Old City Sports Network. As always, I brought the conjunction back because
love it.
It's just stuck in my brain at this point. No Matt today, sadly. As you can see, he's out looking for an apartment, so hope he finds a nice place. Me, Q, T-God's obviously going to be holding it down. One less Justin Fields hater helps me survive this episode.
He's trash, man.
He's trash.
No, he's
That
not.
whole team is trash.
For today, bringing back the old reliable format, getting into some calm or chaos, talking about some studs who struggled in week one, and then getting into trust or bust later, talking about some guys who had some great outings and if they are trustworthy or not. And then we'll wrap up with some waiver targets. And Q, do we have some trivia today?
We do.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Need some trivia in my life. All right. And then that's it. So let's get into some calm or chaos, starting at the quarterback position. And I feel like it's obvious where we have to start here. Joe Burrow, Joe Breezy, drafted as a top 5 quarterback consensus, probably across most leagues, had 3.18 points in Cleveland, 14 of 31 for 82 yards. Brutal day for the Bengals all around. But let's start with Burrow. Come on, calm or chaos here.
It's calm.
I'm calm, but that looked terrible.
Yeah. Did not look good, obviously. It was pretty rough for the Bengals. I think the whole team just looked a little bit rusty, a little bit out of sorts. And honestly, they gave the Browns a lot to play for, talking shit throughout the week, especially Jamar Chase specifically. So gave the Browns a lot to play for. Bengals came out slow. They started 0-2 last year and then went 14-2 until the AFC Championship game. So I think they'll be fine. Staying super calm on Joe Burrow. Do not panic. If anyone's panicking on Joe Burrow, please go get an early trade for him.
Yeah.
Don't like trading early, but in that situation, I would do it in a heartbeat.
They need to just start the season in the playoffs, then they'll be good.
Yeah. They'd be fine. Dak Prescott next up on the list. 6.32 points, 13 of 24, 143 yards, 1 carry for 6 yards. Obviously didn't have to do much versus the Giants in a 40-point blowout, but calm or chaos for Dak if you were planning on relying on him.
I think we're calm. He'll play tougher opponents. Giants are just garbage.
Yeah. Giants came out flat, dude. They looked brutal. So we'll see what happens there, but gotta have faith that I think Dak will be at least a low-end QB1, high-end QB2.
Yeah.
Got a question in the chat. Bird is the word podcast. He can keep one. Kenneth Walker, Najee Harris, or Joe Mixon. Who do you keep?
Probably
That's tough.
Kenneth
That
Walker.
is so tough.
That's
I think it's
very
between Walker
tough.
and Mixon for me.
I would have said Najee next.
I know you're a Mixon hater.
Well,
That's tough. I think I would lean towards Kenneth Walker.
Me
I
too.
think I had Mixon ranked a little bit higher in the offseason. So, like, if I want to go by those rankings, I think Mixon's a little bit safer. But after seeing how not involved Charbonnet was in week one, although he was a little banged up, I would lean towards Walker. And yeah, I like that point as well. Najee is sharing a decent chunk with Jalen.
Yeah.
So, obviously a blowout, so maybe it'll look different in the future. But I think Kenneth Walker is the best bet there. Also like to lean towards younger running backs when it comes down to it. Although Najee's still young too. All right, moving on. Lamar Jackson, 6.56 points against the Houston Texans. 17 of 22 for 169, 1 interception, 6 carries for 38 yards, 2 fumbles. Did lose one of those fumbles. Just not an overall great performance, and obviously no touchdowns kills him a ton. Calm or chaos here for Lamar?
Super calm.
Yeah, I think he just needs Lamar back, but I think we're also
Lamar.
sleeping a bit. Or sorry, Mark Andrews back.
Mark.
I do think we're sleeping a little bit on the Texans D. I guess D'Amico Ryans is that good because they were playing well.
Yeah, they looked really good. Honestly, I was shocked how close it was, but their offense is abysmal. So
Yeah, they weren't doing much.
that defense is going to be on the field a ton this year. But yeah, you got to stay calm. Lamar Jackson. Last one, Jalen Hurts, 14.5 points. Not the worst outing. 22 of 33, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 9 carries for 37 yards, and a fumble there as well. Calmer chaos.
That's back-to-back games with a fumble.
Yeah. Some
Sheesh.
Super Bowl shit.
Didn't need to bring that one up.
I think we're
Sorry.
calm. The Bill Belichick, he's good on defense. I would be a little concerned if he does this again, and then I'd start to blame Gator for owning him because I did give everyone that warning.
This is true.
Yeah, I think we're calm. I honestly, maybe it's because I was also hating on him too yesterday because I was up against him. So when I'm loving him, he's good, and he should be fine moving forward.
Yeah, I'm still all in on Jalen Hurts. I had him ranked QB1. Like, you have to stay calm here. It wasn't the worst performance. It could have been a lot worse. Still played pretty well. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith still looked really good. Once they get Goddard more involved in the offense, I think it'll look better moving forward. But
one
we'll talk about
quarterback
him.
before we move on to running backs, though. How about Geno Smith?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I know. Well, it's just he picked up where he basically left off at the end of last year with these average games. He only had 1 touchdown.
Bro, Lockett got hurt.
True.
Yeah, but he
still-
played 88% of the snaps.
Oh, come on, man. Don't bring that up.
just the Seahawks as a whole, they should have won that game. I can't believe I'm already out of my suicide because I picked Seattle.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Seattle was almost a surefire lock as well. And I think it obviously just didn't look great. That O-line looked like Swiss cheese. And
Yeah.
they just didn't look that great all around. But I think it'll be better days ahead. I think it was just kind of a slow start here. I don't think Geno
Smith of old.
Like Geno wasn't like elite last year. Like, we looked at that last year where he was just consistently solid.
Yep.
And I think this will be one of his lower scoring games of the season. But again, we shall see. He's got too many weapons not to be all right. Like,
Yeah.
If he fully reverts back, if this happens for a few weeks, then I'm like, yeah, it might be time to look at a quarterback change. But I think Geno Smith should be fine. Got to stay calm for now.
Yeah.
Stay calm on Justin Fields too. Running
No.
backs. Running backs.
Yeah, why didn't we talk about him?
He didn't have that bad of a game
Yes,
in
his
terms of
own-
fantasy points.
Please stop. Top number 1 QB overall projection from you, and he's can't even throw 1 touchdown.
Did
DJ
not
Moore's ass.
project him
Let's
to
just
be number
start
one.
rattling him off. DJ Moore stinks.
We're
2
talking
targets.
about DJ Moore. He's on the list, so we don't need to bring him up.
I'm just giving you a preface.
Justin Fields, how bad did he
Thanks.
look? Tell me, out of 1 to 10, how bad was Justin
He looked
Fields?
lost. 10.
Okay, so that's a 10 bad game for Justin Fields, and he had 16.5 fantasy points. I'm so confident.
That's his ceiling.
Like, that's not a ceiling. If that's his worst game that's
Against-
going to happen, he's going to have 16 fantasy points. He'll be fine. They're going to get him more involved in the running game. Honestly, the offensive coordinator looked lost because I don't know why they had no designed runs for a running back at quarterback. Made no sense. But at the end of the day,
Sell DJ Moore now.
he'll be fine. DJ Moore might have more of an argument, but Justin Fields himself, I think he'll be okay.
Nothing changed with DJ Moore. Yeah, of course he looks good against the third stringers in preseason.
Yeah. All right, running backs. We'll talk about DJ Moore in a minute.
Running backs. Justin
Antonio
Fields.
Gibson, 0.9 points, 35% of the snaps, 3 carries for 9 yards and a fumble, 1 catch for 10 yards. Will this man ever live up to any sort of potential
No.
after being pretty decent?
I forget what award I gave him, or I said he was a sneaky our flex running back for the running back episode. But yeah, now I see why he was slept on because he stinks.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't give him the ball. He's just not involved.
Well, then he fumbled. and
Brian
that's what
Robinson's
gave him the
him.
Yeah,
I still don't
Robinson
think
he
he's
even caught
him.
the passing touchdown. I was shocked to
ball.
see
He
him
was just
get
in
a
the right
receiving touchdown.
position. He was
Oh,
just in the right
Come
definitely.
on, man.
I
Definitely.
promise it wasn't designed for him.
20 carries for him. Obviously, it was not great. 19 carries for 59 yards, but still good enough. The volume's there. Only 2 targets. I don't think Brian Robinson's going to be the guy, but based on volume and snap share right now, I'm definitely starting him over Antonio Gibson if I had the choice.
sure.
10 times out of 10. Next on the list, DeAndre Swift, 1.3 points, 29% of the snaps, 1 carry for 3 yards, 1 catch on 2 targets for 0 yards, and the second target was an absolutely brutal drop right over the middle. So, calmer chaos.
This is chaos.
I don't really have any feelings on this running backfield because I have no desire to start any of them.
Bro,
But
why was
I
he
was
not used
expecting
at
him to be
all?
better. Yeah, I was expecting him to be better than this.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
First and foremost, the preseason reports I usually don't buy too much into. The Eagles ones apparently were true that Kenneth Gainwell looked like he was the RB1, and it looked like they lined him up as RB1 on the depth chart, even though when we released our official depth chart, they just listed all 4 running backs without listing them in an order, which was super stupid. But Kenneth Gainwell, I think they're going to use them and go with the hot hand. Gainwell obviously started off the game well. I think they're going to continue to do that if he starts the game off well. But I think Swift will have better days ahead. But I am definitely leaning more towards chaos already in week 1. I would not feel confident putting him in my lineup again for week 2.
I was going to
Penny-
say, like, there's no way you could start him next week.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Penny will
there's no
probably
chance.
play next week too, so that'll just make it even worse.
Right.
Yeah. If Penny gets mixed in as well, I think it's just going to be an ugly situation all year, one that I prefer to avoid. But as of right now, Kenneth Gainwell had the majority of snaps. He should still be the guy to be started if you have him. If you need to start him, I still wouldn't feel fully confident doing so. Guys that did a little bit better, still disappointed. Najee Harris, 5.3 points, 52% of snaps, 6 carries, 31 yards, caught both of his targets for only 2 yards. Calm or chaos on Najee?
He picked it
I'm
up a little
calm
bit at
'cause
the end, but
It was a blowout. Like
yeah,
that.
1 yard after like the first half. The whole offense 1 yard.
Yeah. I mean, the Niners defense is the Niners defense. We told you like to start these guys with a little bit of caution for week 1. Like you couldn't bench him, but there was a chance that this could happen, and obviously it happened in the worst way. So
Didn't you pick the Steelers?
shh, all right. I did.
Yeah.
I had the worst week of picks in the
Yikes.
world. We could go through every game and be like, damn, you picked them too? Yeah. Bad week 1 for me and bad week 1 for Najee, but I'm leaning towards calm as well. I think it was more of a blowout, and I think he'll have better days ahead. 6 carries for 31 yards really wasn't even that bad. Just no volume there. They didn't have any chance to run the ball.
Yeah.
Another question in the chat. Duffy the GOAT. With Dobbins down, should I target Brees or Jones in a trade or just stick with Rashad?
Bro, if you can get Aaron Jones,
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm all in.
Yeah, if you can get Brees or Aaron Jones, I think that's obviously an upgrade. Rashad, I don't know who Rashad
Maybe
is.
White?
Penny?
Rashad
White. Yeah. Rashad White. Trying to make sure I'm not misunderstanding. Rashad White actually isn't that bad if you have to roll with him. The volume looked good for him. I think he'll be okay. He wasn't great, but I think the volume should be there. So not
All right.
much competition.
May have
but
missed out on your chance at Aaron Jones kind of low, buying low, because he's probably going to be
he's
like this
one
all
off.
season, honestly.
Yeah, Aaron Jones is going to be tough to get, but Brees Hall, if he struggles, I think that's a decent buy low that you could also have just to bolster that running back room. Gator says I suck at picks. Yeah, I do for week 1, but we'll bounce back. Don't worry. Damian Pierce, 6.7 points, 45% of the snaps, 11 carries, 38 yards, 2 catches, 3 targets for 9 yards. Calm or chaos?
I think it's a bit chaotic just because when will they ever be in the position where they can just run the ball often? And Ravens defense is good, but it's just like it's not the best. And I don't know. I just don't see a chance where he'll be able to just run the ball a lot because the Texans are still not good.
Yeah, and they're not
I
using
agree,
him in
but
passing.
I like the
situations.
volume. Volume is juicy.
Yeah, I think he's going to get the carries when his team runs the ball, and I think that's going to have to keep him afloat. But passing was a little bit promising, 2 for 3, which we didn't see much last year of.
Yeah.
But in passing downs, it looked like it was Mike Boone for some reason. He played 31% of the snaps, 3 catches from 4 targets for 18 yards. So this backfield's going to be weird. It's going to be a weird team. I don't like the Texans, so I don't love Damian Pierce moving forward, but got to stay calm after week 1. Could definitely have a better game. Ravens also not an ideal opponent. Jahmyr Gibbs, last running back, 8 points, 27% of the snaps. We saw him on Thursday, 7 carries for 42 yards, caught both his targets for 18 yards, but concerned about the usage or staying calm here?
I'm calm because he was
I'm
good
so
when he was
calm.
out there. Would have had a
Eye test.
touchdown.
He passed the eye test with flying
Yeah.
colors, man. He looks good.
Yeah, super calm for sure. Got to keep rolling Gibbs out there. I think he'll be fine. I think as the season goes on, it should be way closer to like 50-50 split.
People are just chaotic because like he's drafted that high and Monty's out there for that much, but I think they're just easing him in. He'll be fine.
It was also the first game of the season, so anyone that was starting him was so excited to see him do anything, and he did.
He'll be good.
Not much, but obviously when he did get the ball, he was elite. He'll be fine. Let's get into wide receivers. Let's get into some bagels. T. Higgins, everything bagel, 0 points on 8 targets, 0 catches, what is up with T. Higgins. Just a bad game for the Bengals. Throwing this away.
Blame Joe
Calm or
Burrow.
chaos.
Easily blaming
Calm.
Burrow. Easily.
Yeah.
That dude stinks.
You got to stay calm. 8 targets is obviously great volume. It's probably impossible that he's going to have 0 catches on another 8 target game.
Now, what if he
Again.
has another donut or 5 or less points?
He might have another donut or another bad game, but I think if he's getting 8 targets in this offense, I'm more than confident starting him every week. Like, he will have better days ahead. Got to stay calm here. Have to.
I feel like it would take 12 or so weeks before of stinky T. Higgins to actually start to be concerned.
Yeah. At least like 6 weeks to even start being like, damn, should I bench T. Higgins? Drake London. Now, this was a plain bag.
This is concerning.
Only 1 target. This man barely involved on the offense. It felt like calm or chaos here.
Chaos. I don't think you could start him until they start throwing him the ball. I have no confidence starting him next week at all.
I think they saw that they didn't need to throw the ball because the Panthers weren't doing much. But at the same time, I think that their coach hates Drake London and Kyle Pitts. He said earlier that he doesn't care about fantasy. The coach said that, so they might just stick to running the ball. I don't know. I just think he has no desire to throw the ball.
Yeah, I did not love what I saw from the Falcons. I just really don't like Desmond Ridder. I don't think he's like going to be that good. He's going to be like a game manager at best.
His first pass attempt was to himself, I think.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
I think someone else did that too, like Stroud or Bryce Young.
It was one of the rookies.
Yeah,
one of the rookies did it.
Both of them did it. It was so weird, like back to back. But yeah, no, Drake London leaning towards chaos. I feel like if you want to start him again, roll him out there, but I don't love it at all.
Trade Drake to a good team.
Yeah,
with a guy named like
the
Drake,
Falcons.
you should be good.
Yeah, I think you have to hold if you have Drake London. Don't trade yet. Don't sell yet, anyways. But there's no value right now. We will get to DJ Moore in a second. Tyler Lockett, 3 points, 2 catches on 4 targets for 10 yards. Did get injured. Also played most of the game. Maybe playing through injury. Calm or chaos?
I'm still. I'm calm on Lockett.
Let's see.
I'm saying.
I guess he's due for one stinky game a year. I'm looking at last season. He had 1 3-point game, so 2 3-point games. So
he actually started last year with 5.8.
So there we go.
And Smitty, Devontae Smith last year, he had a donut week 1.
Yep.
I mean, it's Tyler Lockett. We've become accustomed to a couple bad games here or there, so I think he'll be just fine. Staying calm. Although
Hopefully.
I am still nervous JSN's going to be mixed in, taking some of that target share, but he should be fine. Definitely still in that flex range for sure where you got him. DJ Moore. Duffy asked in the chat, should he stick with him or panic on this offense and sell after week 1?
Panic.
2 catches, 2 targets, 25 yards. We're accustomed to this with DJ Moore as well. He's going to be up and down, number 1.
Mainly down, though.
The entire offense, man.
Look, it was definitely a bad game for the Bears. I am definitely concerned with Justin Fields and like how they're going to use him passing the ball because they're not even attempting to move the ball down the field again. It feels like they reverted back to their offense in the first few weeks of last season where they weren't attempting to throw the ball deep. They weren't giving runs for Justin Fields, so the whole offense looks like it's struggling. But I think better days are still ahead for DJ Moore. It's only week 1.
Probably not.
I can't panic yet. I'm staying calm.
The only thing you could say is that he was locked up by it was Jair Alexander on him. But at the same time, Justin Fields is not good. And neither is DJ Moore or Cole Kmet.
Q hates the Bears.
May I go on? Chase Claypool held to 0 catch. Well, he stinks, and we know
he stinks. I was about to say that's anything to add in.
What, Darnell Mooney? I think I like Darnell Mooney.
And
I hate
so
Darnell
much. Anytime I piped up Mooney, you send him into the trash can. Whatever Bears wide receiver is good that I try to defend, unless there's Allen Robinson who comes back, then Q would be so hyped.
Oh my god.
Q'd be all the way in on Justin Fields if Allen Robinson.
Oh my god. I might switch.
DJ Moore, I think you still have to stay calm. At least 1 more week. You got to give him another shot here. We'll see what the Bears
can't wait till he
can
stinks
do.
this week.
I really hope not.
Who do they play?
Someone mid. A little worse than Jair.
They play the Bucks. So not much better. Not much better,
but not much worse. At least Justin Jefferson took the top off that defense.
Yeah,
so.
Justin Jefferson is better than DJ Moore.
Well, yeah, obviously. I'm just saying. At least we can see passing the ball moving against that defense.
We'll see. Kirk Cousins is also better than Justin Fields, so
stop.
Oh my god.
Terry McLaurin, 5.1 points, 2 catches, 4 targets, 31 yards. Calm or chaos? Vince, you're late.
Keep that up there.
Never.
I don't. Chaos, I guess. I wasn't expecting Terry to be that great this year, and I'm surprised how the Cardinals were staying in that game when they're supposed to be garbage too.
Yeah, dude, that game made no sense at all. And I've never been a big fan of Terry, so I'll ride the chaos train here.
I'm not saying chaos yet. I just can't. All right, the chat needs to relax. Terry sucks. DJ sucks. Terry sucks. Come on now. I can't go chaos yet. It's too early. We've seen Terry be good the last few years. Obviously, he hasn't been great, or like he had the potential to be great. But I think Sam Howell looked all right. I think he'll be okay. I think better days are ahead. I think it was just coming off an injury. Wasn't sure if he was going to play. He should be all right. Should be okay. Another question in the chat before we get to tight ends. Worth starting a guy like Flowers on my bench over DJ Moore?
100%.
I was sleeping on Zay Flowers, but he made some plays yesterday.
I'm in on Zay Flowers as well, so
nice.
Like I would not be mad at you if you were already ready to make that move in week 2, and just want to wait and see on DJ Moore. I'm certainly not mad at it, but if I had to guess, I'll probably still rank DJ Moore a little bit ahead for week 2.
You're crazy. You're crazy for that.
Not crazy.
You're so crazy for that.
We'll see. We'll see.
He plays the Bengals next week.
See. Tight ends. Dallas Goedert, 0 points, 0 catches, 1 target. Calm or chaos?
Calm. It was rainy.
Yeah.
It was rainy.
In the past, it was rainy.
Yeah.
It's not like the passing offense looked that. Like, obviously, the Eagles looked rusty, but A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith got theirs. I think Goddard will get his. It just takes some time. So,
yep.
Stay calm there. Chig Okonkwo, same thing, 0 points, 0 catches, 2 targets.
Blows.
Did play most of the game, 83% of the snaps. Calm or chaos
sucks.
On Okonkwo?
Calm.
Chaos, man.
I guess chaos because the quarterback is incompetent, but D-Hop also did okay for what they had at quarterback.
Y'all were hating on D-Hop.
No, I like him. I have him.
Mm-hmm.
Sean's I have him in Dynasty. I love D-Hop. Watch the tape.
Yeah, Q was on D-Hop train with you. I was on the D-Hop hate train. But it's not that I hated D-Hop. I told you in the episode when I made the take, Tannehill's getting old and he's mid.
All right.
Am I wrong?
All right.
But D-Hop was fine. Better than DJ Moore.
Way better than DJ Moore.
He doubled 7 times his points.
Anyways, Chig, I'm staying towards chaos still.
Yeah.
I think you have to keep him on your bench if you drafted him, but he was already on the lower end of tight ends. If you can find another one on waivers, there were a couple of decent ones we'll talk about. You should be okay. I mean, tight end's going to suck all year, so.
Yep.
We'll see. Bears suck. You're probably right. I don't know why I put faith in the Bears. Dalton Schultz, 2.4 points, 2 catches, 4 targets for 4 yards. Calm or chaos here on Schultzy?
I'm still
better.
calm.
Yeah, better days are ahead. The first game for CJ Stroud, and it was the Ravens defense, but
yep.
Yeah.
He'll be
Their
fine.
offense looked okay. He looked like he was able to move the ball a little bit in terms of moving it through the air anyways. So I think, and they're going to have to throw a ton. Schultz will be okay. All right, we'll do Vince before I do the ad.
There's no MT glazing segment.
There is no MT glazing segment. He did look all right. I don't know if he's all the way back. He looked pretty decent.
Thank God Olave had more than him.
Still looks like
Scott
the wide
Hansen
receiver
did
too.
say he's back. Just saying.
I mean, technically, like he's not wrong. He was back playing in the NFL, which is kind of a shocker. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Michael Thomas is back. I'm still on the Gator train here. Kind of with it. Maybe not sucks, but
never agreed with anything with Gator except for that.
All right,
top 15.
That's top 15 wild. Is absolutely outrageous. Let's do today's sponsor before we do some more positive guys here in Trust or Bust. Today's sponsor is Fanatics. We have reached week 1 of the NFL season. It is all wrapped up at this point, and you probably wore your old raggedy jersey that you pulled out of the closet. Make sure you get your new jersey. We are partnered with Fanatics for the entire season. Go to the link in our bio on all platforms. Take advantage of the sale going on now. Today they have a sale going on. Use code SUMMER, 25% off your entire order. Get that new jersey you've been eyeing up, maybe even a t-shirt. Get ready for week 2. Again, go to the link in our bio. It helps us out a ton. Get yourself some NFL merchandise. You have until midnight tonight. So if you're listening tomorrow, check their site. They usually do run some new specials, but make sure you go through the link in our bio because it helps out the Super Fantasy Bros.
Gator
all right.
Going nuts.
Yeah, I just had to go back because he said he had MT when he put up 40 points per game. That never ever happened.
Yeah, 40 points per game is an absolute absurd. He did have a very good season. But Gator, you traded him, man.
He had him last year, and he played 3 games and never scored 40 in any of them.
Yeah.
Didn't even score 25 in any of them.
Yeah. Whatever, Gator. Let's get on to trust or bust. Starting at the quarterback position, Tua Tagovailoa, 33.14 points, 28 of 45, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. Are we trusting Tua?
100%.
I don't want
if he's playing, I'm trusting him 100%.
If he's playing the Chargers every week, I'm trusting.
I didn't even care that much about the matchup. I just think we saw last year when he was able to be on the field, he looked solid. Tyreek Hill can elevate any quarterback, and then he also has Jalen Waddle. Like, you have to trust Tua if he's going to be playing.
Yep.
The only fear is a re-injury issue. So,
can Tyreek Hill please fall off?
He's too fast.
That's one of the downfalls I'm waiting for. I think he's just fast.
Tua missed like 4.5 games last year, but still QB 15. So, like, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Mac Jones, 30.14 points.
What the hell happened?
35 of 54, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Also added 15 yards on the ground. Are we trusting Mac and Cheese Jones?
Hell no.
No shot, man. But those numbers are impressive.
Yeah, I think they might have to throw a decent amount. Their defense looked good, though. I think like they just got off to a really slow start. Obviously, the pick 6 did not help after it went right off his guy's hands. So I think Mac Jones is okay. I don't think this is going to be the norm.
See, I stopped drinking so much during these games because I don't remember him throwing 54 times. I do remember the touchdowns, like the one to Hunter Henry, but 54 times is insane.
They just kept passing. Zeke fumbled. Ramondre barely got used until like the second half.
Yep.
So, yeah, we shall see with Mac Jones, but I am still thinking bust, not targeting him on waivers.
No.
Matt, also not here, but strongly agrees.
Matt, I need you to say something about Justin Fields and DJ Moore.
Matt, don't say anything. Just be quiet in there. Jordan Love, 29 points, 15 to 27, 245 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also added 3 carries for 12 yards. Are we trusting Jordan Love?
I want to. I said I liked how he looked in the preseason, but I don't know. Bears stink, as mentioned. But yeah, I really wait on him. But he is someone who could have some value.
He still looked good though. Like the eye test, I don't know. I'm like 7 out of 10 trusting.
And he didn't have Christian Watson, so he could have had a better game.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards trust as well. I don't think it's going to be that great. Like 15 completions isn't always going to go for 245. Was that Aaron Jones' long touchdown? Was that a pass as well? Or was it like a dump off?
Yeah, that was a pass.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be like that every game.
That's Aaron Jones'
specialty. Jordan Love, I do think he has some potential this year. So if you're looking for like a speculative backup quarterback, like maybe you did have Dak, or maybe you had someone else that struggled that you aren't fully in love with. Maybe you're a hater of Justin Fields. Like,
it's better than Derek Carr.
Gods.
Yep.
Don't be scared to pick up Jordan Love. I think he's a decent backup. And he could have some potential to continue. All right, running backs. Tyler Algier, 24.4 points. Hope you're listening, Vince. 15 carries, 75 yards, 56% of the snaps, 2 touchdowns, and caught all 3 of his targets for 19 yards. Trust or bust for Tyler?
Trust. And until further notice, he's startable, I think.
Bro, I low-key want to trust because they don't throw the ball. Like, 2 running backs can be startable in this offense. Like,
and we said there's no way that there's no way they just put Algier on the shelf after having a good season last year. So
yeah, I think Bijan obviously passed the eye test with flying colors. Yeah. He looked super good. You're starting Bijan no matter what. But Algier also looked good, also played half the game. I don't think it's going to be where the Falcons are winning games 24-10 every week. So that's my only fear is like, if they go down a ton, are they going to be still trying to keep running the ball and keep running the ball? But he obviously is a decent pass catcher.
Bro. Yeah, I know.
I know they might because they don't trust Ritter. And they obviously don't use Pitts or Drake London. So they might run it a lot. I think this is still going to be a run-first team that wants to play good defense and run the ball. So leaning towards trust on Algier. leaning towards.
Who caught the ball if it wasn't Drake London or Kyle Pitts? I need to look at this.
I don't know. They don't even have Olamide anymore.
Yeah, I was about to say we have Olamide.
Ritter only had 132 yards passing, or 115. So it's not like anybody caught the ball. He had 15 completions for 115 yards. Half of those probably went to Bijan and Algier.
Matt Collins. Yeah, Kyle Pitts was the leading receiver somehow, but Matt Collins. Yeah, Matt Collins was the only guy we didn't talk about who caught the ball.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm leaning towards trusting the running backs here.
Desmond Ritter, 1 catch for -6 yards.
Hell yeah.
And one of them was to himself. Yeah.
Well, that's the only one.
All right, moving on
Fantasy
to
cheat code.
Roschon Johnson, 17.5 points, 39% of the snaps in that Bears backfield, 5 carries, 20 yards, got a touchdown. Also caught 6 of 7 for 35 yards. Are we trusting Roschon?
No, I think
that's a very weird stat line.
I think the Bears mailed it in because they started with Khalil Herbert, and then we saw a little bit of Foreman, and then towards the end of the game we just saw Roschon, I guess, because they were already done. So it may have just been some garbage time stuff, but I could be incorrect.
Yeah, I think I'm just scared of this being a 3-headed monster, and that's why Khalil Herbert was not being drafted super early, because potential of rookie obviously coming up, and then also Donta Foreman, who looked solid last year, and he played okay as well. I'm not trusting Roschon Johnson. He obviously ended up with a touchdown, ended up with some decent I don't remember where my train of thought was going after all those messages.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, I've done that before too. That's normal. But yeah, Roschon Johnson, not leaning towards trusting. Kyren Williams, as Vince likes to say in the chat, Kywin. 65% of the snaps, 15 carries for 52 yards, scored both of the touchdowns rushing, and then caught none of his receptions, but did have 2 targets. Are we trusting Kyren?
I don't know. I want to, because Sean McVay definitely hates Cam Akers, but at the same time, maybe they make amends and Cam Akers is back to being the guy, which isn't saying much, but I don't know.
Cam Akers stinks, man.
Cam Akers stinks. Can I get a Cam Akers stinks in the chat? If anyone stinks, it's Cam Akers, man. That dude is buns. I'm not fully trusting Kyren Williams either, but he did look like the better running back, so I think he's definitely worth taking a look at, especially if you're the Cam Akers owner. Like, if you are considering relying upon him, you got to look at Kyren Williams with a serious look. Cam Akers played 35% of the snaps, like 1/3 to 2/3 of the snaps is a pretty big gap. So we shall see. And no targets at all for Cam. So Kyren Williams looking like maybe he's going to continue to get the work. But not all the way in. Worth an ad. Josh Kelly, 15.1 points for the Chargers. Played 48% of the snaps. 16 carries for 91 yards. Also scored a touchdown and did not catch his only target. Trusting Josh Kelly.
He's going to be a guy that we should be trusting, but I don't know. I'm sorry, Austin Eckler, you are still him.
Easily still him.
Yeah, there's no way I'm trusting Josh Kelly just yet. I just can't do it.
Austin
Eckler still the RB1.
He stunk last year.
He stunk for like 2 years.
Yeah, there was that other guy they brought in.
They had Roundtree. They also had Isaiah Spiller. Like, he's actually been in the league since 2020. So this is his 4th season. I think this is closer. He did look better last year than the first 2 years. I think he can still improve, but as a Eckler owner, I think the only reason you're looking at Josh Kelly is to make sure you have the backup.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
I'm not trusting him as a starter in my lineup.
Eckler's out.
Yeah, for sure. Eckler also gets those receptions, honorary wide out. So yeah, Josh Kelly not going to be involved in the passing game. We'll get a little bit of work here and there, give Eckler a breather, but don't start yet.
Yep.
Matt also chimed in. Cam Akers' ass. Just had to get that across. All right, wide receivers. Jacoby Myers, also known as Devontae Adams Jr., 29.1 points, played 80% of the snaps, also ended up getting banged up, unfortunately, but 9 catches on 10 targets, 81 yards, and 2 tutties. Are we trusting Myers if he's able to go?
100%, dude.
Yes, because whoever they signed to be on the other side of Devontae Adams gets more work than Devontae Adams. Last year was Matt Collins, and now it's someone who looks exactly like Devontae Adams, one number lower too.
But we did talk about Jimmy G not really stretching the ball super far downfield. And Jacoby Myers makes for that perfect kind of over the middle target. Obviously, ended up getting rocked over the middle.
He did.
But if he's able to stay on the field, obviously, I think he can be a consistent target guy here over the middle when Devontae Adams isn't stretching the field in certain spots. Obviously, Adams is still going to be involved. Adams still going to be the wide receiver 1. But
yeah,
I'm trusting Myers as a flex option right now.
He should definitely be scooped in every single league. Like,
yeah.
But if he's out, Devontae Adams will be back to. We'll see a good Devontae Adams week because who else are they throwing the ball? Hunter Renfrow was invisible.
He played 20% of the snaps, and he should not be owned in any leagues. I don't think he's going to be a part of this offense. He was one of my sleepers, and he just was not.
Yeah, he's still sleeping.
Yeah, he's slumbering until forever.
It's a long time.
Also, good point. Old Patriots chemistry with Jimmy G.
I didn't even consider that.
You think Joey Myers was back there all the way back then?
No, he's reaching.
Yeah, reaching a little bit, I think, there.
Yeah, way off.
Yeah, way off. Way off. I was like, wait. Kendrick Bourne. Actually, no, I skipped one. Calvin Ridley. Just want to make sure everybody knows.
Bro, come on. He's going to finish top 5. He's going to finish top 5.
Had to put it out there just to make sure that everyone remembers that Calvin Ridley is elite and he looks very good. Trust Calvin Ridley. Kendrick Bourne, 24.4 points, 6 catches on 11 targets for 64 yards and 2 tutties. Obviously, Mac Jones threw for 300 in this game. Is Kendrick Bourne a viable option?
This is that one Kendrick Bourne game that you get that no one owns him for, but that's it.
He got 2 touchdowns. That's got to mean something.
We made Mac Jones look like we're going to trick a lot of people into scooping Mac Jones and starting him, and then he's going to be back to Mac Jones.
Kendrick Bourne was like quietly decent in 2021.
Yeah.
Quietly decent. Quietly top 35 wide receiver. Last year they get who was the new offense coordinator they hired? Matt Patricia, I think, was their OC last year. Kind of ruined this whole offense. We see them on a new season with a new offensive coordinator. Mac Jones airing it out again. Kendrick Bourne playing decent.
All right, start him over T.
All right, not starting Kendrick Bourne over
Why?
T. I think he's worth a spec. The point I'm making is he's worth a speculative ad if you're looking for someone on waivers in a deeper league. But
yeah,
I'm not fully trusting by any means in my lineup. At least until I see this like 2 or 3 more times. Wasn't born yesterday. Flash in the pan. Could definitely be a flash in the pan. Rams wide receivers. I really don't know how to say this dude's name. Does anyone know how to say his name?
Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua. He was elite with the pronunciation. 21.9 points, 10 catches on 15 targets for 119 yards. And then Tutu Atwell matched the yardage, 17.9 points, 6 catches on 8 targets for 119 yards. No Cooper Kupp. Looks like they were fine. Are we trusting Puka and Tutu?
I think this really just means that Van Jefferson is trash.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget to mention
he should be dropped in every league, every single league.
I might drop him in the dynasty league.
Bro, you literally should. He's useless. He's always been
like
useless.
4 or 5 years. I've been waiting for the breakout. Me and you were both in on Van Jefferson early.
I left.
He's just not in.
I jumped off the van.
But Puka, Tutu's actually been there for a little while as well and hasn't done much. But it was nice to see him actually be a part of the offense. Puka obviously looked like the go-to guy here. So I think
I'm all in.
Both are worth an ad. Puka definitely gets preferential treatment for me.
But not anybody gets 15 targets. Like,
yeah,
he's had to have made some type of list.
Matt Stafford made that defense look like Swiss cheese. Seahawks defense looked bad, and I was like, Matt Stafford healthy? Maybe he's back. Maybe.
Like, what if Cooper Kupp's out for the season or out for more than the 4 weeks that he's supposed to be at? Puka could be Cooper Kupp.
He could be. Bro, 15 targets is insane.
Right. Yeah, Cooper Kupp's out till week 5, and we don't know if he's going to be able to stay on the field when he comes back, or if he's going to come back during that time. So, is that till week 6?
I just
week 5,
that he did this well with no touchdown. So all he needs is a touchdown, and he's going to be great.
Yeah, no touchdowns. Like, obviously, he had 14.4 points, no touchdowns. I think Stafford gets 1 touchdown a game. He's already a 20-point week. Stafford's definitely worth an ad as well if you're looking at a QB that you need a backup for. But Puka, definitely scoop. Tutu, also worth a look or keeping an eye on. Romeo Dobbs, 18.6 points, 4 catches on 5 targets for 26 yards and 2 touchdowns. Are we trusting Dobbs?
Not yet.
No, because Christian Watson's coming back, and he's going to be him, and Dobbs is going to be less him.
Yeah, I think Dobbs is definitely going to be a part of this offense, but Watson's obviously still not playing, and it was a complete blowout. So, and 2 touchdowns, 26 yards is a little fluky, just a little. Mm-hmm. So, Dobbs should be involved. Definitely worth a look, but not trusting yet in lineups. Zay Flowers, though, 17.7 points, 9 catches on 10 targets for 78 yards. Are we trusting?
Yep. 100%. You could start him.
Wake up, Odell.
Yeah. I am trusting Zay Flowers for sure. Like, should be plugged in as
and he had a couple carries too, didn't he? Pretty sure he had a couple carries.
Yeah, I think that's why he's not at 17.8. And he's at, or no, yeah, he had a couple carries to get him to that amount there. So I think he had 9 yards rushing or something.
Yeah.
I was like 70.7 and 78 yards. It's not adding up. That makes sense. Yeah. Zay Flowers, definitely worth a start. For sure. If you're looking for somebody. I don't know why I said thought. What are thoughts on Christian Watson? I think he's still going to be fine. Just need him to come back and play healthy. Obviously, it's a hamstring, right? I think there was hampering him. That scares me a little bit because we just saw Kupp get placed on IR for that. Those things can linger, but didn't seem to be as severe for Watson. So if he's able to come back, it should be fine.
Eckler ankle injury.
Josh Kelly.
No way. You're lying right now. Lying right to my face. Status is TBD. It's okay.
Come on, brother.
We got time for next week. We got time. But yeah, obviously makes Josh Kelly more of an important ad for sure. Zay already wide receiver 2. Can't go that far yet. After one game. Let's see it happen a couple times.
Yeah.
Q pronounced Odell ass yesterday.
I was drunk. I also thought Melvin Gordon was on 3 different teams. And then the third time it was P. Ryan.
Yeah, P. Ryan came on and you guys went absolutely bonkers. I hate P. Ryan. Are we worried about Aaron Jones' hammy? Again, definitely scary a little bit, but I don't think it was as serious as other ones we've seen. So I think he might miss this week, but I don't think it's going to be like a Cooper Kupp John.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be as serious, hopefully. But I'm not a doctor. Obviously, continue to monitor it and make sure you have a backup plan just in case. Tight ends, Hunter Henry, 16.6 points, 5 catches on 6 targets, 56 yards, and caught that touchdown and also had that crazy one-handed catch. Are we trusting Hunter Henry? He's currently tight end 1 right now.
I kind of any player on the Patriots outside of the running backs, I think I trust Hunter Henry because they use the tight ends. That's the history of the Patriots. So
yeah.
I think Hunter Henry, as long as he's not in a carousel, like when they had Jonnu Smith, I don't know who else they had.
They got Gesicki,
who was like invisible. So
he had like maybe 2 catches.
Yeah, so I think I'm trusting Hunter Henry, considering what we saw yesterday from tight ends.
To scoop, maybe not start yet unless you have like an awful tight end. Then like maybe if you started Okonkwo, I would not be mad if you're like, maybe I'll just start Hunter Henry this week, see what happens.
Yeah.
Hayden Hurst, did we forget? 15.1 points, 5 catches, 7 targets, 41 yards, and a touchdown. Can we trust Hayden Hurst, baby?
Kind of. I mean, again, I go back to the eye test. I mean, he looked pretty good.
Yeah. Only played 53% of the snaps, so it looks like they're using him like as a pass-catching tight end, not too much blocking and playing like the whole game. Obviously, he's gotten a little bit older at this point. He's 30, but I think for a young quarterback and Bryce Young, he could be reliable for him throughout the season. So you should see some decent volume. Again, maybe not worth a start right now, but as tight ends are bad, definitely worth a look. Can't buy into tight ends too early, though. We know how up and down they are.
Yep.
All right, let's do some waiver targets before we get to trivia. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We will try to get to those. T-Gods, waiver target for this week. Who are you trying to scoop?
I'm trying to scoop Mr. Irrelevant, I believe, right? Brock Purdy. Mm-hmm. He was the last pick of the draft. But yeah, I don't know. He's on one of the best offenses in the league. I don't like to – I hate the 49ers. I don't know why. I always have. But the offense is great. He had 19 completions on 29 attempts for 220 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also ran for 20 yards. So, I mean, he's solid. He's got solid weapons around him. He's only owned in 51% of leagues. I mean, I'm trying to look at their schedule. They have a pretty easy schedule. So, I don't know. If Brock could just get you couple touchdowns here and there. Nice little bye week fill in if you need them, or if someone gets hurt. I mean, it was a shaky start for a lot of quarterbacks, and Brock Purdy is one of the few that looked promising. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's worth an ad.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Brock Purdy looked pretty solid. I think he's definitely worth a look. Q.
I hate it because Brock Purdy is definitely a bad quarterback on any other team, but
Come on, man.
He can't be good. You're last pick for no reason.
I don't think he's bad, but I think he's obviously in the best situation for him across the league. The Niners offense is one of the easiest offenses for a quarterback to be in. But I think he would be okay in another offense. Like I don't think he'd be that bad. But who knows?
Richie was trying to say that he thinks like Mac Jones would be like a superstar if he was on the 49ers.
I think he would too.
I don't think he'd be a superstar, but I do think Mac Jones would definitely be better than he is on the Patriots. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Way better. Like it's not that it's easy, but as long as you can get the ball to Debo and Ayuk and just hand it to McCaffrey. Yeah.
Kittle.
Yeah, Kittle. Like the offense is stacked. So.
Yep.
All right, Q, go ahead. Who's your waiver target this week?
All right, so my waiver target we mentioned earlier is Puka Nacua, with Cooper Kupp on the sideline for at least 4 weeks, and Van Jefferson being stinky. There aren't really any other options for Matt Stafford to throw to that he trust. And he had 15 targets. It's hard to really argue against that, a 44% target share. With no running backs that you can trust on that offense, they'll probably be throwing it a lot more, and they're not that good, so they'll probably throw a lot as well. He could be filling in for that old Robert Woods role where just lots of volume. So he could be someone you could trust. I don't know if you'd put him into your week 2 lineup, but maybe I would put him in over Drake London. That's for sure.
Yep.
So yeah, Puka Nacua, only owned in 0.6% of leagues.
Insane, dude.
Scoop him up. Definitely scoop him up.
Like who are the 0.6 that drafted him?
Probably just Bulls because people are like, yo, add these guys before week 1 and then you'll never get him again. And he's probably on there.
Yeah. 100%. All right, my waiver target this week, one that's maybe getting overlooked a bit, Zach Ertz. Look, this man is old, and the Cardinals
almost had a touchdown.
Not great, but he looked healthy on the field. And whether it's Josh Dobbs or Clayton Tune, Zach Ertz will be getting some separation over the middle. He had 10 targets in this game. For a tight end in today's NFL, that's juicy. I don't think many tight ends had 10 targets. I don't even know if any tight end had 10 targets this week outside of Zach Ertz. So I'm eyeing Ertz as a tight end waiver target. I think people also forget how good he was last season through the first 10 weeks. I think he was tight end 3 or 4. So definitely worth an ad if you're looking for help at that tight end position, even if you're not starting him right away. Worth a speculative ad to just throw in your bet.
Did you bet him first touchdown?
I bet him anytime touchdown.
He almost had one.
I know. I was so angry. He was plus 900 to score.
Wow.
And had an end zone target, hit him in the hands. It was a little overthrown. Had
a little overthrown.
High point it. Heartbreaker. But yeah, that's it for waiver targets. Gator, good guess on who we were talking about. Kyron Williams, obviously another waiver target. Justice Hill, maybe not so much.
Yeah. Gus Edwards is the guy to own.
Yeah, 8 carries for 9 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't think that's going to work out that well moving forward. Question from Matt, who's not here. Ayuk versus Rams or T versus Ravens week
He
2.
wants us to say Ayuk because he was talking about it yesterday.
Bro, how do you bench Ayuk after that?
How do you bench T Higgins too? It's crazy. I mean,
Ayuk juicy.
You're in a really good spot
on that
no
team.
matter what, but I think I would probably lean towards Ayuk right now.
Yeah, so would I.
Same.
I hate benching T, but after 0 points, you got to think the Bengals are going to bounce back. But they started off slow last year. In week 2, they weren't that great either. So
maybe it's because T changed his number. He sucks now.
Whoa! Don't go that far. We're not all the way out on T.
Possible,
maybe possible, but I'm leaning Ayuk after that week. 2 touchdowns. He looked insane. I think you can't really bench him.
Yeah.
All right. Q trivia.
Trivia. Yes,
up.
trivia. And just in case you guys were wondering where I got this fire Kirk Cousins t-shirt, tomorrow on our podcast page, I will be posting the link. I'm dropping about 30 shirts, NFL players, some baseball players, NBA players. So be on the lookout for that. You'll be dripped out for week 2 beyond.
Hell yeah.
Dripped out, baby. Check out the one.
We even have a
right
Justin
now.
Fields shirt. I know he's awful, but I have to play to the customers, and some people like Sean might buy one.
Nah.
I think I might have to cop just so I can wear it on the pod.
I'll make sure it comes in extra stinky. But we do have two trivia questions for today. If you guys are ready for the first one.
I was born ready.
All right. So there was a lot of Bijan Robinson anticipation heading into week one, with him beginning his career on Sunday against Carolina. Among active players, who are the only other two former first-round picks who began their careers by running for over 100 yards in their first game. So it's a running back. And the hint is the one running back was drafted in 2018. The other one was drafted in 2020. So who are the two former first-round picks who began their careers running for over 100 yards in their first game? There's only two. Obviously, Bijan did not do it yesterday. He only had 56 yards.
All right, 100 in their first game.
And they were a first-round running back pick. 2018 was the one, and then 2020 was the other.
2018, 2020. Who were the rookies? I need to make sure I know who was drafted in the right years.
Yeah, I had to look it up because I thought the 2018 was 2017, but it was 2018.
2018. And they're both still in the league, right?
They're both still in the league, both still on the teams they were drafted by.
Juicy.
One may have a little bit
a little more
lesser of a role on his team, but
less of a role, huh? Less of a role.
But we've talked about him at least once so far this season.
What? They both have less roles?
No, only one of them. But both still on the same team. Yep.
All right. I'm locked in.
I'm not locked in yet.
I'm
How
locked
much
in.
time do I have?
I didn't set a timer, but I'll give you
Good.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Oh my God. I'm trying to run through all the teams.
I've already given you a minute.
Backs. Trying to run through the teams where there's two running backs where I'm like, who could be still in the team that's not being used as much? It's been there for 5 years or 3 years at least.
Yeah.
Would assume 5 years since it would be older. I hate this, Q. I hate this question. I hate your guts.
Bijan not good enough to run for 100 yards because Tyler Allgeier's there.
Yep.
Oh my God, I should know this. Why do I not know this?
10 seconds.
I'm hurting. Can't think of anything, dude. Just drawing straight blanks. Can't think of anyone that's been on a team for that long that has a lesser role now.
Depends on what year you're thinking of. You're probably thinking of 2018.
I am.
5
I don't
seconds.
have anything. I'm just not going to write anything.
Oh,
I got
boy.
one guess.
All right.
Can't think of one.
Well, the 2018 running back was Saquon Barkley.
Got that
That's
one.
what I got. I got that one.
106 yards and a loss.
Tell me
And
2020. Never mind. Just say it.
2020 season opener on a Thursday night. Does that give you any hint on what the team may be? A Thursday night usually means they're a champion. It was Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh, that dude
No
stinks.
shot, man.
Yeah, there's no shot.
138 yards on a Thursday night opener.
I
don't
guess
remember him
Najee.
doing that. Like, how's it not Kareem Hunt? Maybe they mixed that up.
Yeah, I was thinking 2018, so that's what was breaking my brain because everyone moved teams. I was like, maybe Dalvin. I was like, oh, he's on the Jets, and I was like,
Yeah,
it was hurting. And I also thought he was drafted like 2016 or whatever that was.
all right.
See any guesses in the chat? Vince got
Cam.
Saquon.
Most of them
Gator
are
said
saying
CMC
Cam or
and
Kareem.
Saquon. Kareem isn't a bad guess. He did snap.
D-Hen. Yeah, we can go on to the next question here. Sort of relates to this week still. So, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Aaron Rodgers won 4 NFL MVPs with the Packers. Tonight, he'll start for the Jets. Who are the only 5 players in the Super Bowl era who've won multiple MVP awards, then going on to start a game for their different franchise? There's like one. I mean, the one who we've never watched play. He's played in like the 90s, but like we all know who he is. He's very, very famous.
Okay.
Yeah. So these there are, how many did I say? 5 quarterbacks who've won an MVP, multiple MVPs with one team, and then went on to a different team and played a game with them.
So how many QBs?
5 quarterbacks.
All right, I have 3 right now.
So yeah, one of them are from the 90s. The rest are all the 2000s.
multiple MVPs. Multiple. Who am I
At
forgetting?
least two.
Who am I forgetting that's nice that got MVP? That moved. I don't think he won 2, though. And then one from the 90s.
Gator is literally, you guys can't look, but he's literally listing off any quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'm not looking. Of course he is.
Yeah, one in the 90s. Maybe it was the 80s, but like very famous quarterback. Probably one of the best ever, obviously, if he has multiple MVPs.
You're just making me think like any Bulls. I don't really know. I'm just going to go with, because I don't know where they would have played. Guess I'll just rock with Old Head Bull. I have 5, but one is a question mark because I don't think he won multiple MVPs. So I got to try to think of someone else that won multiple MVPs.
Well, there's two, at least 2.
Yeah. I have someone that won 1 and then played for a different team, but I'm not positive he won 2.
Brady won. Good guess, Vince. May have looked that up. Does it tell you who liked the live or the stream? Yeah, it does.
Changing my answer.
So you got 5 or you get out?
Yeah, I got 5.
All right.
I got 5 as well now.
All right. You can give the answers. So we'll start with the most obvious and get lower and lower. We have Tom Brady, obviously, with the Bucks, Patriots, Peyton Manning, Kurt Warner,
Lock.
with the Lions.
Just kidding. That was
Cardinals.
the last one I figured out.
Brett Favre with the Jets and Vikings,
Yes, sir.
and then Joe Montana with KC.
Joe Montana.
KC
I was between him and Steve Young.
49ers.
I didn't know where he went.
All right, I got 3.
I got
Take
5.
3.
I got lucky. I had Matt Ryan written, and I was like, "There's no way he won 2." So then I just racked my brain. Remember the greatest show on turf?
Good.
Gator said Brett Favre.
Yep.
Look like Doug Flutie, Randall Cunningham.
He's literally just writing any names.
Doug Flutie. I don't even know what team. I don't even know what team Doug Flutie played for.
Vince 5 for 5 as well. Good stuff. Brady, Rogers, Manning, Montana, and Kurt, baby. Kurt MV. Don't hate on Kurt.
And he was
Kurt's
literally he bagged groceries.
His son is also now the truth at TU, baby.
I don't know about that.
I hope he is good. Continues to get better. All right. That is a wrap for the week 1 recap. We'll be back with our week 2 preview on Thursday. Again, if you're interested in using Fanatics, go to the link in our bio. Take advantage of that current sale going on, 25% off your order. You have until midnight tonight. As always, follow us on the Super Fantasy Bros, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. We're literally everywhere. Just search Super Fantasy Bros. You'll find us. Subscribe to the YouTube. And also check out Old City Sports Network. Ton of great podcasts over there. A bunch of great sponsors as well, including Fanatics, but some other ones if you are interested. Ton of discounts. Check that out. And Q's dropping those shirts again. So make sure you follow our Instagram to stay up to date with that. Those should be going on sale at some point tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned for that. See you guys Thursday. Peace.